Hello, so today I got the Wet n Wild SpongeBob line. If you know me, you know my love for SpongeBob, so of course I had to get it. I got the Nautical Nonsense palette, and then I got the SpongeBob Sponge House, and I wanted the Patrick Sponge originally, but they were sold out and they have been sold out for a very long time, so I went with Squidward because I didn't want to wait any longer. And then we also got the Fun Setting Spray. So I'm gonna show you guys all that today and review it for you. Not like in a professional way, but just in a majority way. And yeah, we'll have fun with this. So, also while in my package with all of this, Wet n Wild also sent me these foundation samples, so I'm gonna try those out too. Figured might as well since I have the rest of the line. So we're gonna go in with the foundation first. That way I can set my eyes for the eyeshadow. I'm just gonna use a combination of the light and the dark one, just to kind of make my own color. I'm just gonna dot that. Now normally I apply my makeup with brushes and then use the sponge just to blend, but today we're breaking all the rules. So. I'm not a fan of the smell. It smells like paint. Can you smell it?
Kinda, yeah. You can put on your face.
I know. Alright, and then we're gonna go in with Squidward. Okay, so apparently I didn't put nearly enough on. Fun. Okay. Alright, now for the real test, we'll see if this little guy can actually go into my crease. So I'm just taking my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is by far my favorite one. Super affordable, super cheap, but it has amazing coverage and it lasts all day long, doesn't really crease, so it's amazing. You can get this on Amazon, you can get it at Ulta, Sephora, Walmart, even everywhere would have this. Any drugstore, any high-end retailer, they would have it. Maybe not the high-end ones, but probably Ulta and Sephora. Alright, and then we're gonna go in also for my contour. I use the Fit Me foundation stick. This is the shade Toffee Caramel. And we just apply this to the places that I want to show a little bit more definition in. And then we'll blend this out with Squidward as well.
Squidward!
Stupid little baby hairs. Get out of there. Alright, and now for the real test, we'll go in with this part of Squidward. And then I also use my concealer as my eye primer. Just if it's that's what works for me. Alright, it didn't do that bad of a job. Probably wouldn't reach for it on a daily basis, but not terrible. Alright, and then of course once we're done with Squidward, we will put him into SpongeBob's house. And just like that, little windows. Alright. Next thing we will do is set my under eye while we're waiting for my eyelash or for my eyeshadow to be finished. So for my under eye, I use the Revolution translucent powder. I use that to set my eye, and then I usually use about this amount, just like a quarter amount. I don't like using a ton of powder. I don't want to look cakey or anything like that, so I just like a little bit of powder that way I don't crease. So I'm just gonna use my pressed powder brush. I'm not really sure what brand this is. I got it from my Ipsy bag. And then put a little bit on there, and underneath the eye we go. And then same thing for the other eye. And then last thing I'll do is set my T-zone as well, just because that's where I get a lot of creasing. And we're done. Done with that part. Alright, and then while we're waiting for that to bake, we will go in and start the eyes. So again, I'm using the Nautical Nonsense palette. We are going to use a combination of One Eternity Later and mayonnaise. So that's this white powder is mayonnaise, and then this brown one is One Eternity Later. So just use a combination of both of those right onto the upper crease. Alright. And then as my transition shade, we're gonna use, let's see. We'll use Bear, which is this red palette, or this red color right here. And then we're gonna use that right into the crease. That pigment really well. It's a pretty pink shade too. And then we'll do the same for the other eye. And then after that, we are going to use just a flat brush. Any brand will work for you. And then we're going to use some of the setting spray onto that. That way it will grab at the glitter. Alright, and then we're going to use this cream shade called Aye Captain. That's this one. Too hard. And then we're going to go right into the center of the eyelid. Oopsie. So I'm going to use my finger to finish that just because I grabbed way more than I thought I did. That's a pretty blue shade though. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing for the other eye. Great. So once we're finished with that, ain't it pretty yet? Okay. So once we're finished with that, we will go back in with Air Bear, that pinkish shade, and just touch right over the glitter just to blend it in more. And this also helps you if you want to clean up any harsh lines as well. Alright. Very glittery, but whatever, we're gonna go for it. And then I'm also...
One eternity later.
Okay, so we're gonna use a smaller fluffy brush and we're gonna go into the corner with Secret Formula, which is this dark blue shade right here. And we're just gonna blend that out. Once we're finished with that, we will go back in one last time with Care Bear and go right over the edge of Secret Formula and just make sure that that pink is apparent but not taking over. And then our pig should be finished, so I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just go right over. Make sure all of the powder is gone. Alright, then finish with that. Then we will just go in with our contour, and I'm using a random palette that Ipsy sent me. I'm just gonna do my cheekbones, my forehead, very lightly, and call it a day. Then we're gonna go in with blush. Make sure those cheekbones are nice and prominent. And a little on the nose. I like to look like Rudolph.
Aww.
And then we'll go in with the highlight as well while we're here. So I'm gonna use like pinkish highlight. Again, I'm not really sure where this came from. Yeah, but this is the palette I'm using. Alright, and then right in between the blush and the brow bone. On the nose, and on the chin. And then we're also going to use that same color and go in to the corner of the eye. And onto the brow bone. Once we're finished with that, we will go back in with mayonnaise and, I forget the other one, One Eternity Later, and just sweep right back over. Make sure everything is blended together nicely. Alright. And then now time for the under eye. So we're gonna use a combination of Care Bear and Secret Formula. Use those two. And right under the lash line. Because my eyes are smaller, I use smaller strokes, so that equals a smaller brush. But if you have bigger eyes, go for it. Alright. So we're all finished with the eyes now. We'll go in with white eyeliner in the waterline. I just use the NYX Random White Eyeliner. Yeah, just the Korean one. And we'll go right against the waterline. Perfect. And then I'll use the Tartist liquid eyeliner pen. And we'll do a nice little wing. And same for the other eye. Wings don't have to be perfect because we're going to put false lashes on them. They just have to do the job of covering. Alright, so I reuse my lashes as many times as I can just because I wear them quite often. So I'm using the Demi Wispy lashes. They are my go-to, my everyday, absolute favorite ones. Super easy to apply. I can wear them for all day, all night, and not feel them. And then we'll go in with the Tartist Pro Eyelash Glue. This you can find at Ulta or online. It's usually like $8 to $10, but it lasts all day long, and you usually don't have to carry it with you to reapply. It does the job that it's meant to do. So I usually do a line about yay big and then wait for it to get a little bit tacky and then you just stick it on. Alright, so it's starting to turn a little bit clear, so we're tacky enough, we're going to put it on. So I'm going to use my fingers to get the outer corner on, and then use curved tweezers to get the inner corner. You'll just grab that inner corner and stick it right where you want it. Alright. And then once they're both edges are on there, we'll just take the same tweezers and go along the lash line to make sure that everything is stuck together. And then we'll give it a little fluff, just to make sure that they are pointed upwards as they should. And we'll go on to the next eye. So you can see that it's starting to turn a little bit clear. So once it's done that, stick it on. And then grab your tweezers and bring the other side over. Alright, and then clean off your eyelash tweezers. And go back through, make sure they're all stuck together. And give it a nice little. Alright, so then next we will take our mascara. It doesn't matter which mascara you use, just your favorite. And I'm using this one. And go over your dry eye first. And just do a light coat onto the eyelashes. Make sure you're getting your real lashes in there. That way you can make sure that the fake eyelashes are actually stuck to your real eyelashes. And then a bottom coat. Trying really hard not to make that mascara face that everyone has. And then we'll go to the other eye and do the same. Another great thing about this eyelash glue is that it dries down super quickly. So you don't have to wait there for 5-10 minutes doing nothing. Alright, and then once you're done with that, just take your setting spray. I'm going to use the SpongeBob one. And then give it a spray. This one smells super good. And then give it a nice little fan. Alright, awesome. So that is it. This is the final look. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want any more of this. Bye.
Good job, babe.